Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Dr. English, and just going to give you a couple updates. One of them is a reminder that we aren't meeting for a synchronous class this Wednesday, but we'll be meeting on the 17th. I have a board meeting that I can't change around board meetings, so yeah, I mentioned I was a board member, so that this week is my board meeting week, and they moved them all to Thursdays, except for the first 2 months, so kind of messed us up a little bit. Second thing I want to talk to you, or just thank you. Thanks for all of you who wrote to me and expressed your condolences. It has been a pretty tough 3 weeks. I wrote in my note to you. Yeah, it's, when you go through something like that, you feel like you come out on the other side and you're still standing, and amazing to still be standing after such an unbelievable personal week, a couple of weeks that we've been through, and all the family members that are still standing for my friends and family. So I do appreciate your support, and so I apologize if some of your papers aren't graded, and I'm working through everything right now. I'm going through the discussions, kind of catching up on the discussions and making sure everyone looks like they're at a good place. This coming week, you'll be learning more about, I'm sure you know about school culture and climate, but you'll be learning more about school culture and climate, and it's actually one of my favorite things to talk about and to work on at a school. I have been hired by school districts as a principal of schools, and the superintendent will say to me after hiring me, okay, we want you to work on the culture and the climate of that school. So what that means to me is that when I go in, what you have to do is you have to start building trust again in the building and building people's faith in you and faith in the school. So it takes a real huge effort not to go into a school that you are trying to build culture on and change things. You really don't want to change things when you first go into a school like this. You kind of just observe, you watch, and you take notes. But some things, as a new principal, you really want to change something because it's so, unless it's harmful, you shouldn't. But if it's so blatant, sometimes you know you need to fix it, but you haven't developed a relationship with your staff yet. So the hardest thing is for a new principal to do, or a new principal of a school to do, is to not say anything at first, and then choose the things that you're going to change with your staff. But don't solely go in there and change things. You just never know what kind of what you're stepping on. I think I mentioned to you in the last class about selling. I sold the couch, the teacher's lounge couch. I sold it at a fundraiser. Make a long story short, I sold the teacher's lounge couch, which was old ratty couch, and I sold it for I think a couple $100 at a school auction to earn money for our school. Well, apparently I did something behind everyone's back, and not realizing, I thought I was doing a great thing because I was going to buy them a new couch with the money, and it turns out though that was a beloved teacher's couch who had passed away, and left the couch in the lounge and left it for the teachers, and I had to scramble to make sure that the old ratty couch wasn't dumped in a dumpster somewhere. So just make sure you go in there and make sure you get to know your people and get to know everything before you start making decisions or selling couches or things like that. So culture is climate is how the school feels when you walk into a building. How you're greeted, how the people interact with each other, the joy level at schools. That's all about culture, school culture. I'm sorry, school climate. And culture is more of like the couch. That's part of the culture of the school, or holidays, or how you do different events, how the staff hangs out together, how they don't hang out together. That's all part of the culture of the school. So if someone asks you, what's your culture of your school? Just say, we have different traditions and different things that we always do. That's part of your culture. And climate is just how you feel when you walk in, or how people feel about the school. So this is, like I said, just something as you become an administrator, I invite you to get to as many different schools as you can, and pay attention when you walk into the schools. Pay attention to how you're greeted when you walk in. Pay attention to the appearance of a school when you're walking into a school. What does the school look like? What's the level of pride that people take about their campus? And how you're greeted, but also how all the employees interact with each other. Just kind of start paying attention to things like that. and think to yourself, what can I do? What would I do to make it either better, or what did that principal do to make that culture so good? So take every opportunity you have to walk into different buildings to analyze and become researchers of culture and climate, because that's the number one thing. You can't change a school, you can't transform a school until or unless you change and improve the culture and climate of the school, unless it's already there. But if you're hired to change that, you can't really improve test scores until people believe in you and they start following and start changing in that respect. Okay, that's about all I have tonight. And again, I want a heartfelt thank you to all of you. I just got back from Maryland, and where I went to a friend of mine's funeral, and my aunt's funeral is in a couple weeks. But boy, for those of you who've been through this, a few of you shared that you've been through stuff like this, and it kind of knocks the wind out of you. So have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you online on the 17th, not this week, but on the 17th. All right? All right, you take care. Bye-bye.